How's it going? As you can see, I'm not in my usual place. I got wires dangling around and a new little background behind me. That's because I'm in Taiwan, finally. I know this video says I'm in Korea or I'm traveling in Korea, but yeah, that was in the past and now I'm in Taiwan. So I was looking at my footage and I took a lot of videos and a lot of pictures of my trip in Korea. I was there for about 2 weeks, I think, and it was a great trip, but there's just so much to talk about. And I'm trying to think how I want to do that. And to me, the most interesting thing in my trip that I can condense into one other video is the DMZ. A lot of the other things I did, I can put into short form content or just generally talk about here and show a little B-roll as I talk about that. So that's the plan for now. And while I was there, I did go to a PC cafe. That might be a separate video or shorts. So again, if you're not following me on Instagram or TikTok, or if you don't watch shorts on YouTube, go ahead and check those out. I'm going to be uploading more of those, especially now that I'm in Taiwan too. I'll be having more short form content related to Taiwan and travel in Asia on both of those pages and here. All right, so I got my videos here. I'm just going to kind of scroll through them and then talk about what I did in Korea. So of course, the first thing I did was see my girlfriend. As many of you know, she's Korean and she lives in Seoul, and I hadn't seen her since around New Year's, so it's been about 4 months since I saw her, and it was great to catch up. And I actually got to meet her family, which was a cool experience. They were really nice, and I got to try some food with them, and they took me out, and we had some Korean barbecue. It's really good. I've heard that the perfect ratio from her dad of beer to soju is 2-to-1. Although you now know the perfect ratio, it's going to take some practice. So if you want to get down to drinking somek, get out to the bar and start practicing. Korea, for some reason, wanted to welcome me with a snow. So my first day was there. It was snowing already. So coming from nearly 90 degrees in Phoenix to snow in Seoul was a big shock. But I dressed warm, so that's good. And thank God I brought my coat with me. I love salmon, so we did get salmon, I think, on our first day there. And we did this thing where it's kind of like a couples craft class, I guess, and we made rings. I can actually show you my ring now. I don't normally wear this when I'm at home, but here it is. And it's got her fingerprint here. So the way they make these is we get these wax molds, and they show us how to cut out the ring shape and measure it to our finger. And then at the end, we melt a little bit of the top with a blowtorch and dip our finger in water so we don't burn ourselves, and then press it onto that wax. And yeah, that's how we get this shape here. And then they take that wax mold and they make the actual silver ring from that. So we did the ring making, the mold making on the first day, and then about a week later we got our ring. So that's kind of cool. One other thing some of my followers might be jealous of is there was Pokemon stuff everywhere. So I did some pack openings. I didn't really get that much, but I did get these. I got this here. Secret Art Charmander. Korean. And I got the Mew as well. So that was pretty cool. For the amount of packs that I opened, that isn't that much. But yeah, it was pretty fun seeing like so many Pokemon cards and merchandise like available, where in the United States there's just so much there's just so many scalpers right now in the US, you can't find anything. Anyways, back to things that people other than nerds care about. I had food, a lot of food, a lot of cool Korean food. We went to this one Michelin star restaurant. I think it's a 1-star Michelin restaurant, and I forget if it's 1 or 2 stars. But anyways, they serve raw beef, and interesting experience. The plate that I got was just raw beef and an egg, and then they had some sauce to dip it in. And the raw beef really doesn't have a strong flavor, and it basically just tastes like sesame oil. But the salad, mixed in with that and the different sauces, I felt like I could get more flavor from that. So if you're gonna go there, I would not recommend just getting the raw beef unless you love like sesame oil flavor. I'd get that salad kind of thing. It was really good, and I was surprised at how much I liked raw beef. We tried a lot of other food, a lot of snacks, Korean barbecue. We went to this one kind of traditional style cafe, and they had um, some ice dessert, some shaved ice. It was pretty cool, and I like the decorative style of the place. I love the traditional buildings, the courtyard homes. I love those. So it was cool to be in there, and they have like a lake nearby. We walked around. That was kind of cool. Like I said, I also went to a PC cafe, so that will probably be in another video. I'll go into more detail on that. I'd like to go to a PC cafe here in Taiwan first before I do that video, and I could do a little comparison of how they're different. After that, we went to the DMZ, and shortly after that, we went to the Kim Jong-gi Museum. Kim Jong-gi is probably my favorite artist of all time, period. But he's definitely my favorite Korean artist. And I followed him for a few years. Unfortunately, he passed away a couple years ago. Since then, they have a museum for him now, close to Seoul. I got to see some of his artwork. It was really cool. He does do some adult content, and actually the exhibit that was going on at the time happened to coincide with displaying more and more of his sexual content. So I'm not sure how much of that I can put on here, but the way that he draws the human form and his perspectives is just, it's insane. It's crazy. If you haven't seen him draw live, there's videos of that online, and I totally recommend checking that out if you're into like crazy perspective drawings and Korean art. It's really cool. Definitely check that out. And if you're in Korea, go check out his museum. It's pretty cool. After that, let's see, we went to the DMZ again. We actually went to the DMZ on 2 different spots. So again, subscribe and you'll see that video coming in the future. We tried more food around Korea. We went to this taco place. One interesting thing about both Taipei and Seoul being the capital of both countries is there's a lot of foreign influence in both of them. So in Seoul and in Taipei, you can get a lot of really good American food. There's a lot of different Vietnamese and Thai restaurants here in Taipei too. So if you're afraid of visiting these 2 places and thinking, oh, I'm never gonna get a cheeseburger ever again, don't feel that way. The local food's really good, but you can also find a lot of foreign food there too. After that, we went to Busan, which, if you don't know, is my favorite city in Korea. I hope to live there someday. I love the beach there, and it was great. I just love being there so much. The food's always good. And the train ride down there from Seoul actually wasn't that bad either. I think we took a longer train the first time there that had more stops, so it was around 5 hours, but on our way back to Seoul, I think it was closer to 3. While we were there, we went to the beach, we went to some markets, we tried local food. We also went to this pretty cool buffet and walked around on the beach lots. This temple that we went to, I'd actually been to before, but I went at a great time this time. It wasn't so hot. The first time I went to Korea, I think, was in late July, early August, and this time it was late March, early April, and that's perfect time for cherry blossoms. So here they had cherry blossoms up and down the whole road in there, and then they actually had some in and around the temple too. Let me make sure I know the name of this temple. One reason I'm in Taiwan right now actually is because I feel like my Korean's not good enough to be there, but hopefully things like names of places will come easy to me in the future. Okay, this temple we went to is called Haedong Yongungsa. It's pretty close to Busan. I don't think it's actually in Busan city limits. I'm not sure if it is or not, but you can take a bus there from Busan, and definitely recommend checking it out, especially during the cherry blossom season. Really, really cool, really pretty. A lot of nice lanterns and good views. There are a lot of people there, and it's kind of crowded in some areas, but if you go at a decent time, or during a weekday maybe, you might be able to escape the crowd. So after that, we actually headed back to Seoul. I think we were only in Busan for a few days, 4 days maybe. And back in Seoul, we went to this very famous library. They have really, really tall bookshelves, and they're in a mall, so we did a little bit of shopping there too. And after spending some more time with her and her family, my girlfriend and her family, I started packing up and I came to Taiwan. Don't know if you can hear that in the background right now, but the trash truck is coming by. So that's perfect proof that I'm in Taiwan right now. So right now I'm going to talk a little bit about why I decided to come back to Taiwan, but just so you know, in the future I will be making more videos about my time here in Taiwan, what I'm doing, my language learning, getting ready to move to Korea hopefully eventually, and just sharing East Asian culture. So if you're interested in that, definitely subscribe. But yeah, why did I decide to come back here? Well, there were a few reasons. The biggest thing is I didn't want to be in the United States anymore. I had a really good job, and I actually even say like my dream job. But the thing is it was in Phoenix, Arizona, and I couldn't be there anymore. And the job that I was doing was kind of like hitting a slow period, so it just felt like it was a good time for me to leave. And maybe someday I'll go back if things get busy again. But yeah, I started planning early for this. I was like, yeah, I need to start getting ready. So that's why I started my gold card application in November. Once I got it, I think in like February, early January maybe, um, I made the decision like, yeah, I'm gonna actually go back to Taiwan now. Um, I had a choice between, trying to come here or maybe going to Korea, but to be honest, my Korean just, like I said, isn't good enough yet. Hopefully that changes and eventually I can move there instead. I like Taiwan a lot, but it definitely has its issues. One good thing right now, though, is that I have a gold card, so I'm not worried about work or anything. I can kind of take things slow, and um, I'm not dependent on a company for a work visa. So that's pretty good. And yeah, I can kind of enjoy myself here. One other reason why I didn't like Phoenix so much is because I didn't have friends or family there really, and there wasn't much to do outside of my job. Anytime I wanted to go somewhere, you have to drive. Public transportation that's there isn't as convenient as it is here in Taiwan or even in Seoul or other places in Korea too. And it's just a pain to like go out and meet new people. Whereas here, that's something that's just so easily done. Another thing too is I spent 6, 7 years learning Chinese, and I want to actually use it. Being in a place where I can speak that language is awesome. I can use it at work in Arizona when I was there. When I got home or went out to get food, it was English, 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 making new friends. They don't speak any Chinese. It's hard to practice on my own, and I felt like I was losing a little bit of it. Anything that wasn't relevant to my work, I was kind of slowly forgetting. So I've got some books here too in Chinese, trying to practice reading more and improving with that. But yeah, it's tough. And I don't know how to explain it, but when I moved here at 19, I grew up here. Basically, all of my adult maturing happened while I was here. So all of that familiarity was tied to this place. And when I went back to Phoenix, it felt like I had to relearn all of that stuff again, like how to fit in and how to be an adult in a new place. It was kind of tough. So I'm glad I'm back here where things feel more familiar. And I'm definitely going to make the best of this experience and share as much of it as I can online. So if you're interested in Taiwan, you want to see anything in Taiwan, leave a comment down below. I will consider making a video about that in the future. And yeah, like I said, check out my other socials, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.